In 2016, 27 years after its initial defeat, Pennywise makes a comeback to Derry, Maine. During viciously assaulting Adrian Mellon and his lover by homophobic teenagers during a carnival, it kills him. The last Losers Club member still living in Derry, Mike Hanlon, summons the other club members, Bill Denbrough, Ben Hanscom, Beverly Marsh, Richie Tozier, Eddie Kasbrak, and Stanley Uries, to uphold their vow to kill Pennywise if he returned. This pledge was made 27 years before. Except for Stanley, who commits suicide out of dread of the beast, everyone else returns to Derry. Before Pennywise informs the losers of Stanley's suicide, Mike recalls their recollections of the events at a Chinese restaurant. Richie and Eddie make the decision to go, but Beverly says she has had psychic visions of their demise if they break their vows. Meanwhile, it lures a little girl named Victoria into a trap at a baseball game before killing her. In a hallucinogenic vision in the library, Mike demonstrates to Bill how the Native American ritual of Chdi can permanently put an end to it. Mike reveals that certain relics from their past must be sacrificed as part of the ceremony. Bill then returns his paper sailboat to the storm drain where Georgie was killed after giving this explanation. Beverly finds Ben's love letter in her childhood home before being attacked by it, who appears as Mrs. Kirsch, a wicked old woman. Richie visits an abandoned movie theater to pick up a game token. While there, he runs by Pennywise, who confronts him about his secret homosexuality. While Eddie retrieves an inhaler from a pharmacy and is attacked by the leper, Ben goes back to the town's high school. In the meantime, it releases Henry Bowers from a mental institution after he was detained for the murder of his father. Before hitting Mike in the library, Bowers severely assaults Eddie at the Losers Hotel. Mike is almost killed by Henry, but Richie stabs him instead. After failing to save Dean, a young child, from being eaten by it, the losers reunite with Bill in the Neibolt house and persuade him not to go up against it alone. The party enters a cavern beneath the sewers after their memories have fully returned. They carry out the rite in the fragments of the meteor that delivered it to Earth, with Mike providing a rock from the losers' battle with the Bowers gang. Its real form is contained by the ritual in a sealing jar. But as the ritual is about to end, a huge red balloon bursts from the container, revealing it to be a gigantic Pennywise spider hybrid. The creature coerces Mike into disclosing a fact that he had kept from the losers. The natives who were originally carrying out the ceremony were slain by it because their fears overcame them. It assaults the losers and sets separate traps for Bill, Ben, and Beverly. When Beverly learns Ben was the one who wrote the love letter to her and Bill admits he was partially to blame for Georgie's death, they are able to go. Richie manages to divert the thing while becoming trapped in its deadlights, saving Mike from being devoured as he faces up to the beast. When Eddie attempts to help him, one of its claws fatally impales him. Then, a depleted Eddie recalls how choking the leper almost to death earlier made it feel small. It shrinks to the size of a weak Pennywise when the losers confront it about how they've conquered their worries and are no longer afraid of the creature. It is finally put to death when Mike tears out its heart, which he and the losers then crush with their own hands. When Richie and the others return to Eddie, they discover that he has passed away from his wounds. The losers have to take Richie away because he still has hope that he can be saved. Eddie's body must be left behind as its tunnel explodes, obliterating the Neibolt house. After their battle with it, the remaining losers wash off at their old swimming spot and join forces to console Richie as he laments the loss of Eddie. The scars on their hands have likewise vanished as a result of its death. After the losers split up, Ben and Beverly get married. Richie goes back to the Kissing Bridge where he had previously carved his and Eddie's initials. Mike decides to leave Derry and start a new life. And Bill starts working on a new book before getting a call from Mike as he is leaving Derry and finding out that Stanley had sent them all posthumous letters. The letters show that Stanley was too afraid to face it and that he meant for his suicide to give his friends more resolve against it. They will always be losers, according to his final remarks in the letters.